What is up, folks? Briston Gaming back with another episode of Valheim Mods Weekly, the show where we help you figure out what mods are good for you. And this week is all about the gear. As you can see here, we have a whole bunch of gear mods and one cool mod that's not exactly about gear, but it does add some really cool stuff that I thought was like, you know what, why not go ahead and add it in? But before we jump into anything, I want to take a second to say thank you to everybody who has liked or subscribed on the content because it does help out and it does mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate everybody saying, hey, thank you for this or showing me that. I really appreciate those kinds of things. It means a lot. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into our first mod. And as you can see here, our first mod is called Ashbringer by Zarbaz. And it is a cool looking weapon. And it is super infinitely customizable. You can make this thing do damn near anything you want with the config file. It's super freaking cool. You can add block power, parry, knockback, sneak attack. Like, you can have this thing be the end all of everything. And you see here, like, you've got the cheat sword. It's a whole lot of damage, but you can also have the Ashbringer do that too. You can have the Ashbringer be just a normal weapon or have it be a cheat sword. But look at this thing. Look at how cool that looks. That thing just looks good. Like, it's just a really good looking weapon. And I loved finding the corrupted Ashbringer and the Naxxramas raid and just playing with it and stuff like that. And then when they added it in Legion for World of Warcraft, like having that as a paladin weapon, I just thought it was cool as hell. I'm not gonna be able to go get that neck; it's too far away. I'm bring him over here. But watch this, and blap. Okay, the game kind of froze there, so you didn't exactly get to see what it did. But look at how the attack goes. That is just cool to me. And the block animation is just crappy, but that attack is just so neat. I love that attack. It just looks so good. And the cool thing about this too is, like I said, with the config file, not only can you change the type of damage and stuff it does, but you can also change the requirements to craft it. You can actually change how everything goes with this, like from obsidian, iron, and everything. And actually, you can really tweak this out to make it a super great weapon. And if you're playing with friends and stuff like that, and you're the one hosting the server, you can actually kind of make these things be like a really good weapon that is ultra end game, but requires just stupid amounts of material to craft and get if that's what you wanted to do. Like, this is just a super cool weapon to have and play around with. And like I've said before in these videos, I love just the combat and the exploration, and the corrupted Ashbringer just fits really well into that. But with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and jump on to the next one. Alright, folks, and our next mod, as you can see here, is called Chaos Warrior Armor by Furrock and Grimm / Ahesus Reaper. I butchered the hell out of that. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But this is just a cool looking armor set. Like, look at how it looks. It's super dark and grim looking. It looks really cool. And when you pair this one with the Ashbringer from the first portion, look at how sick that looks. Like, you look like you look like a freaking Death Knight. Like, it looks really cool. And the cool thing is this armor actually has multiple sets that go through from like tier 1 to tier 3 for, like, it goes bronze, iron, and then I think the last one, let me check real quick, goes yeah, flame metal. So like, it goes up to super high stuff. And as you see here down on the bottom left corner, there's the burdenless weight, the uncanny familiarity, and the hazy nostalgia. Now watch what happens when I equip and unequip something. Like, says the weight of the scarred armor plate eases off your shoulders. Look at that. That's just like when I equip the helm, an uncanny familiarity echoes within the helm's confines. And then for the top, the 8-spoke star clasp over the breastplate evokes a hazy. I couldn't read the rest of it, but it just really cool stuff that they've added into this, and it looks really good. And if you come here to the forge, and go ahead and show you, you can start crafting them out. I'll scroll all the way down here. The half plate harness and stuff. This is actually what it's called. This is the start of it. And it's just really cool to be able to craft it through to take it up to the higher levels. And this is just a really neat armor to have. It looks really cool. And I'm not 100%, but we're actually going to do some testing real quick because I'm going to see if it works with the epic loot. Magic item, legendary, chaos, Plate helm 1. Ah, it did not work. But, oh, it's because I did not spell the thing right. Now let's see if that works. Oh, look at that. It does work with the epic loot. And look at that. That is super cool. So, and this is, I just found this mod the other week, like just kind of playing around with it a little bit, crafting it. I never ever actually tested it with the epic loot. So you guys got to see here firsthand that it actually does work with epic loot, and you can get some pretty cool stuff on it. Like look at the base armor 30, nothing super cool on it, but then here 36, but now it's indestructible, some health regen improvement, some armor and stuff. So like you can actually get really cool stuff with this if you're playing with epic loot, and you have just a cool looking armor set that just looks good. Like look at the eyes glowing red like that. Like it just looks neat. I love the way that this armor looks. But with that, folks, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next mod. Alright folks, so as you can see here, our next mod is called More Two-Handers by Hugo the Dwarf, and it's a super cool mod that adds 13 new weapons, I think, if I know how to count, 13 new weapons, and they're all two-handers, and they all look really cool. So you've got this Motor Sorrow here, which is, it's a cool looking sword. I mean, just look at how that looks. That looks like the sword from... Damn, I can't even remember what the hell they're called now. It's an old fighting style game where you get like this weird sword with an eyeball in it. Just look at that attack animation. And then you've got this this Dragon Slayer sword here. Look at that. That almost looks like the Buster sword that Cloud wields. And the cool thing is this mod also works really good with epic loot as well. I have tested it and played around with that, so it does work. And you've got a silver two-hander here. It doesn't look as neat, but it's got a nice shine to it. It looks pretty good. I didn't mean to hit the escape. You got a black metal sword here that looks kind of cool. Swings more like a hammer. And then you have a iron sword here, which looks really good. And then you have a silver mace here that's got that nice little frosty thing going around that just looks neat. Got a axe here with a little lightning zappy zap going on with it, which is just super cool. We got a another black metal one here, just looks like a nice little normal battle axe. We got this one here which does like poison damage, which is just like, I just love the glow effect on it. It just looks super cool. And then we've got a heavy iron greatsword here, which just looks super good. We have another little glowing one here that looks like it's got a Surtling core in it, so it does fire damage. And then we have the Grasp of the Undying, which is just a cool looking skeletal holding a hand. Like it just looks neat. And these are all craftable at the crafting station here. You just come into your forge and you can come down here and you can craft a lot of them, or craft all of them. They all just show up. See, great mace, like you see all it takes, some trophies and stuff, and they're really cool. And like I said, it works really good with epic loot as well. So you can actually combine these with epic loot and get stuff that's, you know, looks like this but has incredible, I wish the world save didn't happen just then, but you can get some really incredible stats and stuff on these weapons just through epic loot and how it works. So you can get some really cool looking stuff. Like look at that. That just looks, that's just creepy as hell. But with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mod. Alright, folks, as you can see here, our next mod is called Forsaken by V801. And it is a super cool mod that again adds like 13 new items to the game that you can use. And they're all really neat. They're all just super cool looking. Like we have this little battle axe here that has lightning and stuff on it, kind of like the last one, but it has a slightly better animation than the previous mod. And then we've got this one here, this rot club that does poison, big old mace, and it attacks like normal. But as you see, it does poison, and it poisons me as well as the stuff around you. And then you've got this little dagger here that is like a frost dagger, which is actually kind of cool because it has pretty decent damage and stuff. And again, this mod, just like the last one, works really good with epic loot, so you're going to have a good chance of finding better weapons of these in the different things. And you've got this Rhyme Fang here, which is a really cool bow that doesn't use... It doesn't use any arrows. It just kind of fires its own little projectiles. So I love using this thing because I don't have to use different arrows with it. I can just sit there and shoot like normal, and it does pretty good damage. Like, I mean, look at the stats on it. It's pretty decent frost damage. And yeah, good damage with a sneak attack with it, and you can actually upgrade it again like you can with most stuff, or find one through epic loot, and you're gonna have a really really awesome bow that's gonna do some serious damage. And then this is an offhand melee weapon that throws little fireballs around. It's called a chaotic hand. And look at that. Look at the damage on it. The 100 fire damage. That's just super neat. It doesn't use mana or anything like that. You can just sit there and throw stuff around. And then you have this bolt's edge, which is like a harpoon spear that, as you see, I'm throwing it out, has hella good distance, but it doesn't actually go away. You're just flinging out a lightning bolt, which makes you kind of feel like Zeus, which, you know, as a Viking, like, not Zeus, but yeah, Zeus, but like as a Viking, which is just kind of weird, but like, it's just badass being able to throw lightning bolts out. Or maybe I was thinking of Thor as opposed to Zeus. Thor does lightning too. He's the god of thunder. But I mean, look at that. Oh, come on, I can't hit that neck. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Like, that's just cool as hell being able to do that. I just love these weapon mods. And this is a shield that glows. Like, it's a cool little shield. Like, and that's just a hella good combo looking right there. It just looks neat. And you see this one's called the Aegis of the Dead King. So it's just super cool. And you have a rift blade here. It's another two-handed weapon that just has an awesome glow effect. Like, all these weapons just look super good. I can't. Ooh, these are my favorites. So you have two melee weapons here, or not melee, but fist weapons, like unarmed weapons. You've got the Worm Ripper and the Worm Fist, and they're really good. They do a lot of good damage, and you can actually tear through enemies with that. And then you have another one here, which is the hand of the Lycan, the Lycanthrope. Yeah, it's another good one. And we've got this Molten Star, this big old two-handed hammer here that catches you on fire and everything around you. And then you have another little staff here that arguably is not really going anywhere. Just kind of pops down in front of you. I don't know what that's all about. But it's super neat. Like, it's really cool. Like, a lot of these things really are very cool. I left these little glowing spikes. I guess if you're trying to direct people how to go somewhere, you know, this could work really well. But there's also nothing that I'm targeting with it. But this is just a super cool mod. Like, all of these mods are really great to play with because it gives you a vast change of weaponry and how you're going to do things. You have a lot of viability now with combat. I know a lot of people don't like the combat in this game. They like the building and stuff. I love the exploration and combat personally. But it's because I play with all these mods listed here today. I play with all of them. So I know how good they can be. The only one I hadn't played with was the Chaos Armor one, but I showed you guys how it works, and I only just recently found that one. But this one is just a super good mod. Oh, that was just horrible. Nope. I just can't get it to do any good. But that's okay, folks. We're going to go ahead and move on to the last mod. Alright, folks, as you can see here, our last mod is probably the one I'm most excited to bring you guys. It is a super fun mod. I've only played around with it a little bit. There's still a lot I don't know about it. I haven't spent an extensive amount of time testing it. I've played around a lot with it, well, I say a lot, but it's like, 4 hours or so, just to kind of see what it does, because I found it just recently. A friend of mine actually showed it to me. It's like, hey, you really need to check this out. And I was like, oh, crap, okay, cool. So I jumped into it, and it's called Yagluth Beast Experiments by Tapwater and Physics X733. It's a super cool mod that does something really cool. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to have to come in here, and you're going to have to go to crafting, and you're going to have to craft yourself a sacrificial altar, which is this here. And how you unlock it is you have to have killed Yagluth, because he'll give you you'll get the Yagluth drop You go ahead, the Yagluth thing, you go ahead, you build your altar, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fill it full of bones. This one is not filled full of bones, it's got some in there, but then you're going to come up here and you're going to add a trophy. Now you can add any trophy for any animal. This is best if you have a bunch of leftover trophies for stuff. Like I've killed Yagluth, I don't know how many times, so I've got just a ton of his heads. So you go ahead, you add it in there, and then for whatever reason, it just displays a pig head. I don't know why, but then what it's going to do, it's going to turn it into a beast essence. So then this beast essence, when you activate it or when you consume it, it's going to let you take on a power of a beast. Now, what this does is any trophy that you've gotten from any kill, be it deer, pig, Yagluth, whatever, you display the trophy, and then you come here, and then you sleep. And it's set up there on the top left. I don't know if you guys saw it. It said, "You are bound to the spirit of Yagluth." So as soon as we wake up, I'll show you guys what we do, because we'll go ahead and we'll consume. There we go. Come on, let me get this. Go ahead and get that beast essence, and then what we're gonna do, since we're now bound to the spirit of Yagluth, as you see down there on the bottom left, it shows Yagluth. So we come here, we consume. It just says placeholder message. But now different ones do different stuff. Different ones give you different abilities to do different things with. I haven't figured out how to get all of them to activate and do different stuff, but as you see, there is a cooldown here. Now, some of these will let you run a lot faster, jump a lot higher, do different stuff like that. Some of them are going to give you increased health. I've seen like there's a bunch of different effects that these things have, because there's like 25 trophies I think in the game. So wow, my wolves are just going buck wild. Huh. Okay, anyway, like yeah, it's super cool with all the different kinds of stuff that you can do, because like I don't know everything of what they do. I haven't seen all of them. It just there's different stuff that you can do with these different trophies, then they all do different things. Like you're going to get different effects with different trophies that you sleep next to and you bond next to. You can have a Surtling fire, or I'm sorry, not a Surtling fire, but you can put up a Surtling trophy and then consume the beast essence while you're out and about, and your punch might do fire damage with just a normal punch. Like there's all different kinds of cool stuff that these things do. It's just I don't know how to I don't know how to tell you guys other than it's just so freaking cool. Like there's so much to it that you can see here. Like it just says Yagluth because it might not be completely done with that one yet. But I know I've played with the deer, and it does let you run faster. Like you'll notice you're running a lot faster. The Surtling one, you're gonna when you punch, there's gonna be fire and stuff. You're gonna have a fire effect around you. There's a lot of really neat stuff with this that it adds such a cool flavor to the game. And a lot of times, like there's just so many trophies left. Like especially the stupid freaking gray dwarves. Like I don't know how many trophies of those I have, and this is just something neat to be able to do something with them, something extra, because instead of just letting them sit around, you can turn them into beast essence to be able to do a Yagluth or a deer or anything like that. Like you can have all different kinds of trophies to just be able to turn into whatever you want and be able to go out and have fun with it. And it's easy to just okay, you go ahead, take the trophy down, put a new trophy up if you want. Like I can go ahead and put this wolf trophy up there. Go ahead and sleep, and then when we come back, there'll be a whole different skill to use, a whole different thing, because of how this mod reacts with the different trophies. Because I've bound myself to something different. So now we're gonna go out here and we're gonna see what the wolf one does when we activate the beast essence. Predator's Prowl. Look at that. See how fast I'm sneaking along? Look at that. I'm sneaking along stupid fast. Look at that. And this is the Predator's Prowl. This is with the wolf, because wolves are sneaky and they can, sneak up and bite stuff. That's why I really like this, because like you can, especially early game where you might have gotten lucky and had something kill wolves near you and you managed to get a wolf trophy. You're not really going to be able to use this mod too much, but if you're doing sneaky stuff or you want to sneak around, if you're playing on a server with friends and or you're doing PvP or whatever, you can use this to sneak around and sneak super fast. Or you can use this to sneak through the plains and stuff if you don't want to deal with all the goblins and crap like that. Like, look at how fast this is going, and it lasts a long time too. Like, it lasts a couple minutes. So I mean, you're gonna have some fun with it. This is just a super really neat mod that lets you do a lot of really cool stuff. Like I said, it's almost infinitely adjustable to what you need to do at the time, because you can adjust, like, depending upon what you're going out to do. Set up a different trophy, go ahead, get yourself a bunch of beast essences like I've got here, because you've got trophies to spare, and then go out and pop it, and then now you can just sneak around super fast. Like, this is actually faster than my run, and it's just a normal little sneak, but it's faster than I run. So it's worth it to me. But with that, folks, we are done for the week. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you had fun. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.